way she got sex appeal, I can feel too much is never enough. You always there to lift me up when these times get rough. I was lost, now I'm found. Ever since you've been around, you're the woman that I want, so yo, I'm putting it down. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you're my pretty baby, I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you're my pretty baby, I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. I don't deserve you, unless it's some kind of hidden message to show me life is precious, and I guess it's true. But to tell the truth, I really never knew till I met you. See, I was lost and confused, twisted and used. I knew a better life existed, but thought that I missed it. My lifestyle wild, I was living like a wild child, trapped on a short leash, parole to police files. So yo, what's happening now? I see the sun breaking down into dark clouds, and a vision of you standing out in the crowd. So come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you're my pretty baby, I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you're my pretty baby, I'll make your legs shake, you make me go crazy. Hey sugar mama, come and dance with me. The smartest thing you ever did was take a chance with me. Whatever tickles your fancy, girls, me and you like Sid and Nancy. So sexy, almost evil, talking about butterflies in my head. I used to think that happy endings were only in the books I read, but you made me feel alive when I was almost dead. You filled that empty space with the love I used to chase, and as far as I can see, it don't get better than this. So butterfly, here is a song, and it's sealed with a kiss and a thank you, miss. Come and dance with me, come and dance with me, come and dance with me. Come and dance with me, Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, you're my pretty baby, I'll make your legs shake. your little hand in mine. Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain. Then put your little hand in mine.
Hi there, everyone. Yep, back on Groundhog Day. Good to have you all back. We've got the chat running, so please do introduce yourselves and let me know who's playing, let me know what you're drinking. I'm, of course, Jay, your host for the Vanbrugh virtual quiz. We'll start in a minute or so. As I said, just introduce yourself on the chat. Hopefully it's working. I think it's working, but we'll see. Just to let you know, today's quiz is a look back on 2020 special. So I'll give you the first 4 rounds. As usual, the format will be, we'll have 4 rounds of 5 questions. I've got a treat for you. The 4th round is a picture round, so that will be on display during the halftime break. So we'll have rounds 1 to 4, 5 questions in each round, a break, and then I'll come back, give you the answers to the first half, and then I'll push on with the second half, which will be 3 rounds of 5 questions, and ending as usual on the music round, which will be 10 songs, the intros to 10 songs, and I need the name of the song and the artist for that. So, as I said, we'll start round 1 shortly. And myself, I'm on the Stella today, although it's 0%. Sorry, as usual, I should say, you can get a bonus point if you can work out which film inspired this t-shirt, which was a Christmas present from my brother. So, award yourself a point if you can work out which film inspired this t-shirt. Hi Carol, hi Dolls, hi Jazzy. Bread and butter Chardonnay from Jessie. I'll have to give that a go, Dolly. Right, I'll give you the rounds for the first half. So, round 1 is going to be virus and lockdown news, so effectively 2020 current affairs centering around COVID. Hi Claire. The Christmas you're on the Bristol Cream, very nice. Round 2 will be RIP 2020, so all about people we sadly lost during 2020. Round 3 will be food and drink inspired by 2020. Hi John, hi Diane. Round 4 is the picture round. Hi Alicia, good to have you back. Right, so hopefully you're all set. So question 1 and round 1. As usual, if there's any questions you need repeated, just let me know in the comments and I'll repeat the question. So, and I'll try and take it slow. So question 1. Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford announced a national lockdown in late 2020. It was described as a circuit break in Scotland. But how was the Welsh one described? So the lockdown in 2020 in Scotland was described as a circuit break, but how was it described in Wales? Question 2. An IT failure caused almost 16,000 coronavirus cases to go missing from official data in England in 2020. Which piece of software was to blame? So which bit of software was to blame for the loss of around 16,000 coronavirus cases? Question 3. Which singer fined herself £10,000 in 2020 after she threw a 30th birthday bash in London restaurant for around 50 people? So what was the name of the singer who fined herself £10,000 in 2020 after she threw a 30th birthday party for 50 of her friends at a London restaurant? Question 4. which city were students' halls of residence surrounded by metal fencing in November 2020, which was torn down by the students? So I want the name of the university where student halls of residence were surrounded by metal fencing in November 2020, which was torn down by the students. Hi Guy, I'll see what we can do. I'm very quiet. Okay, sorry, let me see if we can sort that out. Question 5. At the start of April 2020, in which European country were all schools, bars and restaurants still open? Potty, okay mate, I get the message, we'll see what we can do. So, at the start of April 2020, in which European country were the schools and bars and restaurants still open? Let me know if that gets better, but I'll go through those questions again from question 1. So question 1, Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford announced a national lockdown in late 2020. It was described as a circuit break in Scotland, but how was it described in Wales? So how did the Welsh describe their circuit break? 2, an IT failure caused almost 16,000 coronavirus cases to go missing from official data in England in 2020. Which piece of software was to blame? 3, which singer fined herself £10,000 in 2020 after she threw a 30th birthday bash in a London restaurant for around 50 people? 4, in which city were students' halls of residence surrounded by metal fencing in November 2020, which was torn down by the students? And finally, for round 1, at the start of April 2020, in which European country were all schools, bars and restaurants still open? Right, do let me know if you need any of those repeated, and apologies for the issues with the sound. But we'll move on to round 2, which is RIP 2020. Question 1. Sean Connery sadly passed away on the 31st of October 2020. He won his only Academy Award for which film? So for which film did Sean Connery win his only Academy Award? Question 2. Which American rock guitarist died at the age of 65 on the 6th of October 2020? Which American rock guitarist died at the age of 65 on the 6th of October 2020? Question 3. The mother of Sylvester Stallone died at the age of 98 in 2020. What was her first name? So what was the first name of Sly Stallone's mum who died at the age of 98 in 2020? 4. Thousands of people lined the streets of Ashington, Northumberland in July 2020 to pay tribute at the funeral of which former footballer and international manager? So, at whose funeral did thousands of people line the streets of Ashington in Northumberland in July 2020? He was a footballer and an international manager. And question 5. Basketball legend Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash on the 26th of January 2020. He spent his whole career with which team? So name the team that Kobe Bryant played for his entire basketball career. That's the end of round 2, RIP 2020. So I'll have a brief pause to see if anyone needs anything repeated. Otherwise we'll move on to round 3, which is food and drink. Okay, round 3. Question 1. Which British meat was back on US menus for the first time in more than 20 years in 2020 as exports restarted at the end of September 2020? Gemma, you wanted questions 3 and 4. And round 2, those are: the mother of Sly Stallone died at the age of 98 in 2020. What was her first name? So what was Sly Stallone's mum's first name? Question 4. Thousands of people lined the streets of Ashington, Northumberland in July 2020 to pay tribute at the funeral of which former footballer and international manager? So I want the name of the chap. So going back to round 3, question 1 again. Which British meat was back on US menus for the first time in more than 20 years in 2020 as exports restarted at the end of September? Question 2. On the 1st of September 2020, which company made its full food range available to order online after buying the 50% share of Ocado? So which company made its full food range available to order online after buying 50% share of Ocado? Question 3, some multiple choice. According to Environment Secretary George Eustice, in 2020, what would constitute a substantial meal? Pork pie, Scotch egg, or pork scratchings? Sorry guys, seem to be some issues with the sound still. I'll see what we can do. Question 4. Which iconic slogan was dropped in 2020 because a fast food giant believed it didn't fit with current hygiene advice? So which iconic slogan was dropped in 2020 because a fast food giant believed it didn't fit with current hygiene advice? And question 5. Which musician allegedly went vegan for January 2020, prompting the Daily Star headline, "Like a bite out of hell, the steak's gone, gone, gone"? So I'll repeat questions 1 to 5 again in round 3. Sorry if we're still having issues with the sound. 1. Which British meat was back on US menus for the first time in more than 20 years in 2020 as exports restarted at the end of September? 2. On the 1st of September 2020, which company made its full range of food available online after buying 50% share of Ocado? 3. Multiple choice. According to the Environment Secretary George Eustice, what would constitute a substantial meal? Was it A, a pork pie, B, a Scotch egg, or C, pork scratchings? 4. Which iconic slogan was dropped in 2020 because a fast food giant believed it didn't fit with current hygiene advice? And finally, 5. Which musician allegedly went vegan for January 2020, prompting the Daily Star headline, "Like a bite out of hell, the steak's gone, gone, gone"? Right, we'll see. We're going to go on to the picture round next, so that will be up on your screens. You're going to get pictures of 5 celebrities with their masks on. What I want is the name of the celebrity. So that'll be on during the break. And as always, if you post in the comments any questions you're missing, I'll come back and repeat them after the break, and we'll also see if we can sort out what's going on with the sound at the moment. Okay? Well, see you shortly.
Like no other.
Welcome back. Hopefully you were able to get those pictures, and hopefully the sound's a bit better now. But do let me know. I'm a bit closer to the mic, but or turn your TV or your laptop up. Hopefully that will resolve it. But hopefully that's a bit better. But do let me know. As I said, no one seemed to need anything repeated, so do let me know. You've got a few 10-15 seconds, because otherwise I'm going to give you the answers. Well, what I'll do, I'll start off with the t-shirt. The t-shirt is inspired by the classic 80s action sci-fi film starring Schwarzenegger. It's Total Recall. Recall being the company that he goes to have his implanted memories. So, Total Recall for your bonus point. I know Sam's got that because he also watched it over Christmas. Right. Doesn't seem anyone wants anything repeated. So, here are your answers to the first half. So, Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford announced national lockdown in late 2020. It was described as a circuit break in Scotland. How was the Welsh one described? It was a fire break. 2. An IT failure caused almost 16,000 coronavirus cases to go missing from official data in England in 2020. Which piece of software was to blame? It was blamed on Excel. Excel. 3. Which singer fined herself £10,000 in 2020 after she threw a 30th birthday party in a London restaurant for around 50 people? Rita Ora. 4. In which city were student halls of residence surrounded by metal fencing in November 2020, which was torn down by the students? It was Manchester. And 5. At the start of April 2020, in which European country were all schools, bars and restaurants still open? It was Sweden. Round 2, RIP 2020. So, question 1. Sean Connery died on the 31st of October 2020. He won his only Academy Award for which film? Also starred, Robert De Niro and Kevin Costner. It was The Untouchables. 2. Which American rock guitarist died at the age of 65 on the 6th of October 2020? It was Eddie Van Halen. 3. The mother of Sylvester Stallone died at the age of 98 in 2020. What was her first name? It was Jackie Stallone. 4. Thousands of people lined the streets of Ashington, Northumberland in July 2020 to pay tribute at the funeral of which former footballer and international manager? It was Jack Charlton. 5. Basketball legend Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash on the 26th of January 2020. He spent his whole career playing for the LA Lakers. So the LA Lakers. Round 3, food and drink. Question 1. Which British meat was back on US menus for the first time in more than 20 years? As exports restarted at the end of September. It was beef. 2. On the 1st of September 2020, which company made its in Ocado? It was Marks and Spencer's. 3. According to the Environment Secretary George Eustace, in 2020, What would constitute a substantial meal? It was, of course, a Scotch egg. 4. Which iconic slogan was dropped in 2020 because of a fast food giant believed it didn't fit with current hygiene advice? It was KFC who dropped "Finger licking good." And finally, 5. Which musician allegedly went vegan for January 2020, prompting the Daily Star headline, "Like a bite out of hell, the steak's gone, gone, gone"? It was Meatloaf. And then moving on to the picture round, you've got 5 famous people. The first one is Cindy Crawford. Number 2 is Lady Gaga. 3 is Gary Neville. 4 is Jennifer Aniston. And finally 5 is Jared Leto. So that's your lot for round 1. Let me know how you got on, and we'll take a brief pause and we'll go on to round 5. So if you need any of those answers repeated, let me know before we start round 5, which is all about TV in 2020. Not bad, Amber. Half marks, or roughly half marks. $16. Good work, Hannah. Although 19 out of 21, very good. 40, people, so it's not too hard, although 16, good work, Liam. Remember, it's all to play for with the music round at the end. There's 20 points available. Right, we'll go on to round 5. Which is all about TV in 2020. Question 1. Love Island had 2 series in 2020. In which country was the Winter Villa? Love Island had 2 series in 2020. In which country was the Winter Villa? Two. Who starred as Peter Lawrence, a self-made Conservative minister who embodies the fictional future of the Conservative Party in the 2020 drama Roadkill? So I want to know the name of the actor who played Peter Lawrence in the TV show Roadkill. Three. Which villains featured in the 2020 Doctor Who Christmas special? Three. Which villains featured on the 2020 Doctor Who Christmas special? Oh, sorry, Diane. 4. Bradley Walsh fronted a Christmas 2020 special of which TV panel show, once fronted by Terry Wogan and also by Les Dawson? Bradley Walsh fronted a Christmas 2020 special of which TV panel show that was once fronted by Terry Wogan and also by Les Dawson? And finally, question 5 in TV. Who replaced Sue Barker as the new host of A Question of Sport in 2020? Who replaced Sue Barker as the new host of A Question of Sport in 2020? So I'll have a brief pause, see if anyone needs anything repeating before we go into round 6, which is all to do with films. Question 2, Gemma. Question 2 was, who starred as Peter Lawrence, a self-made Conservative minister who embodies the fictional future of the Conservative Party in the TV drama Roadkill? So what was the name of the actor who played Peter Lawrence in that show? Any more before we move on? Right. Question 6 is all about 2020 films. So question 1. Which film took home the most Academy Awards in 2020 with 4? Which film took home the most Academy Awards in 2020 with 4? So I'll switch back to number 3 on TV. Which villains featured in the 2020 Doctor Who Christmas special? So who were the villains in the Doctor Who Christmas special? Switching back to films, round 6, question 2. Which 2020 film featured 2 teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot? So what was the name of the Pixar film that featured 2 teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot? Question 3. What was the title of Christopher Nolan's movie starring John David Washington as the protagonist? What was the title of Christopher Nolan's movie starring John David Washington as the protagonist? So I want the name of the film. Question 4. Which film centered around a young boy whose imaginary friend is Hitler? Which film centered around a young boy whose imaginary friend is Hitler? Which was played by the director. And finally, question 5. Robert Zemeckis directed a 2020 film release of which one of Roald Dahl's books? Robert Zemeckis directed the 2020 film release of which one of Roald Dahl's books? Actually a lot for film. So again, let me know if you need anything repeating. Right, looks like everyone's okay. So, round 7, as usual, for people who have played before, it's the wipeout round. So, you're going to get 5 general knowledge questions, all about related to 2020. Each correct answer gets you 1 point, and you don't have to answer any of the questions. However, if you choose to answer 3 questions, get 3 right, you get 3 points. You choose to answer 3 questions and only get 2 right, you get 0 points. So any one wrong answer wipes out your score for the entire round. So hopefully that's clear. Lots of you have played before, so you know the rules. So question 1. A 2020 Daily Mail headline read, "Someone like who? Is this pop's greatest ever transformation?" Who was the subject of that headline? A 2020 Daily Mail headline read, "Someone like who? Is this pop's greatest ever transformation?" Who was the subject of that headline? Two. After topping the Premier League for the first time in 2020, what 3 words did Southampton Football Club tweet? After topping the Premier League for the first time in 2020, what 3 words did Southampton Football Club tweet? Question 3. Which workplace canteen was still serving alcohol on the 28th of September 2020, despite all other UK bars being closed by law at 10 p.m? Question 3. Which workplace canteen was still serving alcohol on the 28th of September 2020, despite all other UK bars being closed by law at 10 p.m? Question 4. Project Big Picture was a 2020 plan to radically reform which sport? Project Big Picture was a 2020 plan to radically reform which sport? And finally, for the wipeout round, at the end of September 2020, what was the maximum fine that could be imposed on those refusing to self-isolate? At the end of September 2020, what was the maximum fine that could be imposed on those refusing to self-isolate? So that's your lot for wipeout. So we'll be going on to the music round, so let me know if you need anything repeating, and I'll repeat those questions. Number 2 and 4. Question 2. After topping the Premier League for the first time in 2020, what 3 words did Southampton Football Club tweet? 4. Project Big Picture was a 2020 plan to radically reform which sport in the UK? Question 1. A 2020 Daily Mail headline read, "Someone like who? Is this pop's greatest ever transformation?" Who was the subject of that headline? So who was that headline about? Right, I'll give you a chance to deliberate a bit and check if you need to ask any more questions before we move on to the music round. I'll be back shortly. Hi guys, welcome back. I think we've resolved the issue with the mic, so hopefully, especially now we've got the music round coming up, that should be okay. So as I said, we're moving on to the music round. Again, those of you who've played before, you know the drill. You're going to get 10 songs. I'm going to play them through once. You're going to hear the intro to those songs. What I want for 1 point is the song, name of the song, and for another point is the name of the artist. So 20 points available in all. And what you'll see, the second half of the round, so the second set of 5 songs, are actually songs that we have heard during the various lockdown quizzes that we had previously. So to make it a bit easier for you, you will have heard some of them before. Anyway, as said, I know sometimes we have technical difficulties, so if there are issues with sound, etc., I will play them through more than the usual twice. So you'll hear them through 1 to 10 through once, we'll have a pause, and then I'll play them through again. And if there are difficulties, we may play them again after that. So anyway, here's song 1. Let's see if I can get this right. So that was song 1. Song 2. Song 3. Song 4. And for that is a cover. So for the artist, I want the artist that's covering it. Next one. Reminds me of my daily working life. Next song. Next one. So these are songs that were featured during the last lockdown quiz. Song 7. Song 8. for some reason that song always conjures up memories or images of being in a hot country sipping on a cold beer, but hopefully this summer we can all enjoy that again. Anyway, enough of my reminiscing. Next song. Next song. So that's your lot. I'll give you a brief pause and we'll go through those from the start again. Ten songs, Liam, I think. Let me just double check. Oh, actually, sorry, there are 11 songs this time. That's my bad. Yes, there are 11 songs. Whoops, forgot to delete one. Or I've slipped another one in. So you got a bonus one, so it's actually out of 22 points this week. Yeah, what I normally do is build up a collection of these songs during the week and then whittle them down to 10, but obviously didn't pay enough attention and left one extra in, so apologies for that, or it's a nice little bonus for you all. Right, song one. I think this is one of the top selling songs of last year. And currently I think it features in an advert for Mercedes featuring the artist himself. So song one. Yes, Claire. Song two. Do you still have that lab coat knocking around, Claire? Question three. Give you a bonus point here. Actually, I'll see if I can stick some bonus ones in. So for question two, the bonus point is, what is the name of the lead singer of that band? And this one, song three, name the other rock group that has covered that song. So another famous rock group has covered this song. This itself is a cover as well, but there's another group that covered it. Big rock band, so that's your other bonus point. Next one, the bonus point for that is going to be obvious, or you can pick it up, you might have got it wrong. Who did the original? So this is actually a cover, but who did the original of this song? Song 4. Next one, as I said, this one's just my daily working life. Next one. Next song. Next song, bonus point, easy if you know it. Who is the sister of the artist to this song? Next one. Second, penultimate song. And finally, song 11. And that's your lot. So we'll take a brief break. If people did have issues with the songs, drop a comment in the comments box and I'll see if we can perhaps play one or two of the songs again when we come back from the break, and I'll be giving you answers then. So see you shortly. Grab yourself a refresher. We'll be back in 5 minutes or so. Welcome back. Right, so it doesn't look like anyone needed any of the songs repeating, so I'm going to jump in straight into the answers to the second half of the quiz. So, starting round 5, TV. Love Island had 2 series in 2020. In which country was the Winter Villa? It was in South Africa. Who starred as Peter Lawrence, a self-made Conservative minister who embodies the fictional future of the Conservative Party in the TV drama Roadkill? It was Hugh Laurie. Question 3. Which villains featured in the 2020 Christmas special of Doctor Who? It was the Daleks. 4. Bradley Walsh fronted the Christmas 2020 special of which TV panel show, once fronted by Terry Wogan and also fronted by Les Dawson? It was Blankety Blank. And who replaced Sue Barker as a new host of A Question of Sport in 2020? Actually, I forgot to write the answer to this question, but I think it's Alex Scott, but correct me if I'm wrong. 6 is films. Question 1. Which film took home the most Academy Awards in 2020 with 4? It was Parasite. 2. Which 2020 Pixar film featured 2 teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot? It was Onward. 3. What was the name of the Christopher Nolan film featuring John David Washington, Denzel's son, who is the protagonist? It was Tenet. 4. Which 2020 film centered around a young boy whose imaginary friend was Hitler? It was Jojo Rabbit. And finally for films, 5. Robert Zemeckis directed the 2020 film release of which of Roald Dahl's books? It was The Witches. Moving on to round 7, Wipeout. So remember, if you get any one of these questions wrong, which you chose to answer, you didn't have to answer them. Any one wrong answer wipes out your entire points for that round. Question 1. A 2020 Daily Mail headline read, "Someone like who? Is this pop's greatest ever transformation?" Who was the subject? It was Adele. 2. After topping the Premier League for the first time in 2020, what 3 words did Southampton Football Club tweet mocking Donald Trump? It was "Stop the Count." 3. Which workplace canteen was still serving alcohol on the 28th of September 2020, despite all UK bars being closed by law at 10 p.m? It was the Houses of Parliament. 4. Project Big Picture was a 2020 plan to radically reform which sport? It was football. And finally, at the end of September 2020, what was the maximum fine that could be imposed on those refusing to self-isolate? It was £10,000. Right, moving on to the music round. Song 1. That is Blinded by the Lights by The Weeknd. Song 2. And that is Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. The lead singer is Frank Beard, who's the only one without a beard in that band. 3. That's Whiskey in the Jar by Thin Lizzy. Also covered by Metallica. I think the original was by the Dubliners. Next song. Sorry, John, my mistake. This is Man Who Sold the World. This is Man Who Sold the World by Nirvana on MTV Unplugged. The original was, of course, David Bowie. This is The Clash with I Fought the Law. Another great song that reminds me of summer. Music Sounds Better With You by Stardust. This is Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry, who is a brother to Naya Cherry. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Of course, Daniel Bedingfield with We've Got to Get Through This. We've got to get through this. And finally, Two Princes by the Spin Doctors. So there you go, that's your lot. Tot up your scores, let me know how you did. Hopefully that was reasonable balance, not too easy, not too hard, and the songs were a fair mixture of stuff and not too one-sided to one particular genre. Anyway, it's good to see you all virtually again. Hopefully, well, who knows how long this will last, but I'll be doing these quizzes again during lockdown, so hope to see you all again online soon. But as I said, let me know how you got on, and hopefully you enjoyed the quiz. I think we managed to sort out the issues with the mic, and apologies for any issues earlier. John, more importantly, how's your fancy team getting on? No, Poddy, you're the best. Very good, John. Good work, Liam. Nice, good total. Send my regards to the family. Ah, Alicia, that. Ha. Nice work, Michaela. Not bad score on your own, Amber. Good work, quiz now and I, 58, 46 body, good work. Not bad, Dolly, although you probably got some good bonus points in there, I would hope. Good work, 58. Tied with John. And quiz now. Oh, sorry. I know. If there's any sort of types of round or types of questions, types of music people would like, do sort of post in the comments or post on the Vanbrugh's social media page, and I'll try and sort of cater the quiz a bit more that way, but hopefully everyone enjoys it. Oh yeah, would have been another 5 points then. Right guys, I'm going to call it an evening there. As I said, good to see you all, hope you're keeping safe and well, and hopefully won't be too much longer online, but who knows, and we'll see you in the actual pub again at some point soon. Anyway, look after yourselves. Oh, Trump's been impeached. Fantastic. Well, there's a good... thanks, Diane, for that breaking news. That's a good way to end the quiz. Well, hopefully the Senate backs that, and away we go. Only president to be impeached twice.
Well, Trevor McDiane there.
The J Mime interpretive dance round. We'll see. Well, anyway, guys, great to see you all virtually, and thanks for taking part. I'll see you again soon. Take care.